Well, do you think you're right? Let's have a look at this one scene by scene as well. Look how arrogant that guy is. He just walked straight out onto the road.
And look how close the pedestrian crossing is. It's practically beside him.
It would have only taken him a few seconds to walk right up and he would have been crossing in a much safer place.
He might have been in a rush, but if that car had crashed into him, he wouldn't even have made it to where he was going.
And the girl looked so shocked that was driving. But at least she was doing the right thing and driving at a speed which allowed her to stop. But you really need to expect the unexpected on the roads.
And look at the guy looking at the driver, as if she's the one to blame when he should have been using the pedestrian crossing.
It just goes to show you, it's not just the drivers that need to be responsible. Pedestrians need to think about their own safety too, because they can quite easily cause a crash, leaving someone seriously injured. Did you see how close that car came to hitting that girl? It says here in the highway code that cars need to give vulnerable people, like that girl out running, as much space as they would a car. It also says that when approaching pedestrians on narrow roads, they need to slow down and give them as much space as they need to go past.
And she looks like she's doing everything right. She's on the right hand side of the road, facing oncoming traffic, and she's wearing fluorescent and reflective clothing, so she can be easily seen.
I mean, there's no way the driver didn't see her. He is definitely in the wrong, because he should have slowed down enough to let her past.
It looks like this lady is crossing the road carefully. She's looked left and right to see if any cars are coming.
But of course the van driver thinks he owned the road and nearly ploughed right into her. You see, he thinks that she shouldn't be there, but he's the one in the wrong.
Yes, it says in the highway code that because she's already crossing, he has to give way to her.
Yeah, I mean, it would be different if he was already turning and then she stepped out after.
Those boys are on the footpath, but it looks like the driver's just driving too fast, even if he's keeping to the speed limit.
Yeah, I mean, just because the speed limit is 30 miles per hour doesn't mean that it's always safe to drive at that.
He should have just slowed down. One of those boys could have walked out and they would have been easily killed.
Look, you can tell he's driving too close and too fast. The boy can actually feel the rush of the car going past him.
It's a warning to pedestrians too. They need to be careful and keep in from the edge of the curb, just in case a car does go past too quickly or too close.
This little book is not just a book full of rules and symbols. It could save your life.
And it's not just for drivers. The highway code has rules for all road users, including pedestrians and cyclists. So it's not just drivers who need to read it.
So let's have a look now about what the highway code says about some of the scenes that you've just watched.
Just because I'm a pedestrian doesn't mean I'm nobody.
Just because I'm a driver doesn't mean I can see you.
Just because you're at the speed limit doesn't mean you're not dangerous.
Just because you're in a rush doesn't mean you can ignore the crossing.
Just because you're driving doesn't take away my right of way.
Just because it seems clear doesn't mean you shouldn't stop.
Just because you are surrounded by metal doesn't mean I'm not flesh and blood.
Just because your friends are chatting doesn't mean it's safe for you.
Just because I'm in trainers doesn't mean you can run me down.
Makes sense to me.
So get reading. The highway code could save your life.
And when you become a driver, if you stick to the rules of the highway code, it could keep you out of prison.
Remember, just because you use the road doesn't mean you own it.
We all need to share the road and respect everyone's journey.